Greetings, YouTube. In September 2001, I was working on second shift. That meant I got out of work at 11 p.m. When my alarm clock went off on the 11th, I heard, instead of music on my clock, I heard a news announcement that a plane had just struck one of the Twin Towers. I hopped out of bed, got to the TV as fast as I could, and tuned to CNN, and thankfully there was actually news on that day. I sat there and watched what was going on, and I actually witnessed the second plane hit the second tower. And then, of course, the collapse. And the first thing that went through my mind when I realized that it was a deliberate attack, and not just a freak accident of some kind, I said, what took them so long? Because I've been waiting for this type of attack for 20 years. I never could figure out why someone hadn't used an airline plane as a weapon, because frankly, they're not much more than flying gas tanks. And then I sat back and I watched America fall apart. I mourn with the rest of us. But I have a certain bitter, cynical streak, and I was able to observe things almost impartially. I watched my Muslim coworkers be terrified of the Americans around them, afraid that there would be reprisals just because they happened to be Muslim. I watched my government start to trample over our Bill of Rights and our Constitution, jailing people for no reason, and starting wars. I watched good, honest people start commenting about the fact that if you didn't agree with the government wholeheartedly, that you were one of the terrorists. And that if you didn't really have anything to fear from the government, as long as you were honest and true, it's okay if they were watching everything you did, listening to your phone conversations and reading your mail. And I grew disgusted. And I arrived at a point of view which I realize is very personal and fairly uncommon. That is, how to beat the terrorists. I decided that the best way to beat the terrorists was on September 12th to live your life the same way you did on September 10th. Don't be cowed, don't be afraid, not of the terrorists, and definitely not of your government, who so desperately used this horrendous attack as a motivation for making political grabs and handing out no-bid contracts like they were candy. That's how you beat them. You just don't let them win. You don't be afraid. Because that's the definition of a terrorist. It's someone that wants to make you scared. They don't actually want to kill that many people. The deaths are a bonus to them, I suppose. But their goal is to terrorize people. To scare them so that they change the way they live. Alter their life. You give them power by being afraid of them. Yes, I'm aware that by not being afraid of them, I could very well die in a terrorist attack. I could also very well die in a tornado, a lightning strike, or a car accident. There are things that I cannot control in life. I can take certain precautions. I don't stand in fields in the thunderstorms. But if a lightning bolt comes through my car window, which it actually has done to people in the past, and kills me, then it's my time to go. And I'm not going to worry about that lightning bolt any more than I'm going to worry about a terrorist attack. The reality is Americans are safer than probably any other part of our species in the entire history of the world. Our children are safer, our elderly are safer, we're all safer than just about any place else there is. And don't let the media and the government, at least the last administration, use that fear to get you to do things or agree with things that you don't agree with. Remember, the greatest form of patriotism there is dissent. Don't be afraid. Speak your mind. The terrorists can't ever win.